everyone, welcome to your astrological forecast for Monday, November 15th. Saturn in Aquarius is in the keyword of originality and is in harmony with the North Node in Gemini and intuition. This transit is just about over, and this is good news because Saturn has been using his creative ideas of rules and laws enforced and propelled by fear to get people to follow his ways of moving us toward the future. Saturn represents the government, so we see those in charge abusing and using laws they enforce upon the masses, and yet they act as if they are above the law. This will be their downfall. The Sun in 23 degrees Scorpio with the keyword of attainment forms a harmonious aspect to Pluto in Capricorn in idealism. And Neptune in Pisces is in the keyword of vicissitudes. The spontaneity of the Sun is working with Pluto to achieve some sort of results by working diligently in order to execute some sort of plan. Neptune and the Sun are working in harmony to help people achieve a change in their lives. The Sun's illumination is wanting each of us to achieve some kind of dream that we otherwise couldn't have done unless the circumstances permitted it. Now the circumstances are aligned with change of some sort. Look at your own life and see what changes you've wanted. This is the time to recapitulate our lives in ways we've never dreamed of or thought were even possible. The Moon in Aries is in the keyword of exaltation and forms an inconjunction which is a crisis situation with Mars in Scorpio in responsibility. The Moon is in Mars's home sign of Aries, and they are not in agreement today. Expect emotions to be fired up and people feeling inspired to try and sway the minds of others. Mars is putting his abilities to good use today by channeling his anger and ambition by fighting for something he has found himself devoted to. This is usually duty to their home or country. But individually, this can be for anything you find yourself devoted to. Today's crisis is the Moon and Mars aren't in agreement as to whose minds are being swayed, which tells me they're being swayed in both positive and negative ways, depending on your beliefs and stance on whatever situation you find yourself in today. The Moon also squares Venus in 9 degrees Capricorn with the keyword of organization. Venus represents attraction and repulsion, love, desire, and pleasure. She's fighting or working to heal something going on with the Moon's ability today to influence others. Be careful today who you are listening to and fighting for or against. Things may not be what they seem. I feel a sense of trickery or deceit at play here. If you're not careful, this could cause you problems in the future. So that's just my warning to everyone. So I hope you have a good Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, welcome to your astrological forecast for Tuesday, November 16th, 2021. The Moon in Cardinal Fire, Aries, is in propaganda and forms a harmonious aspect with Jupiter in fixed air Aquarius in repression. The Moon is our feelings and emotions, but also represents our soul and the soul of the collective. In propaganda, she's wanting to express to others what she's learned about getting unrepressed. Jupiter is growth, expansion, excess in the bigger picture. He's known as the guru, sage, and the wise one. So, is there a reason he's in repression? Since many people are repressed around the world, Jupiter is asking you to get involved in your own circumstances. Jupiter works in two ways. He can make the situation worse by expanding it to where we can't take it anymore, or he can sometimes lead us or show us the solution through his own wisdom. The Sun is in 24 degrees fixed water Scorpio in the keyword of attainment, forming a disharmonious aspect to Jupiter. Jupiter and the Sun are both good planets. The Sun never brings bad things. He is the spirit, our vitality, the giver of life, shining brightly on the world. The attainment the Sun is expressing is his desire towards a lofty effort in fighting Jupiter's repressed situation. The Sun's subrulership is Cancer, Moon, in the third decanate of Scorpio, so he's expressing from an emotional position his feelings towards his home and country and working on healing each individual from their situation. Now the sun is part of you. It's your spirit, and it is igniting a spark in you to see what is going on and to be proactive in the solution. Each of us has a role in this world that only we can fulfill. Here we are here for a reason, and sitting on the sidelines does not fill our divine role. That only contributes to the problem or our problems. Today, put in some effort towards fulfilling your part in overcoming the repression in yourself, and if you're called to aim higher, help heal the repressed or the repression in the collective. Hello everyone, welcome to your astrological forecast for Wednesday, November 17th. In the morning up until midday, the moon reaches fixed Earth Taurus in the keyword determination, opposing Mars in fixed water Scorpio in responsibility. The determination the moon is expressing possesses great healing power. This area of Taurus is about spending too much energy acquiring wealth and not enough time on other things. What are you spending your time on today? This is also an area of the zodiac about black and white magic. With the moon in this position, it could be a warning to us of people using black magic, casting spells on us to control our subconscious minds. You may not even realize it's happening to you or someone you know because spells aren't noticed by those under them. It takes a breaking of the spell for someone to wake up. That the fact someone or some dark entity is controlling their thoughts, which leads to their actions and decisions. White magic would be people breaking the darkness of evil spells and freeing those from bondage and control that the original spell has over people. Let's be clear. Influencers, media, big tech, Hollywood, celebrities, and governments are in this category of a battle of white magic versus black magic. Some work to control our minds while others look to show us truth in an attempt to free our minds of the programming. This is the battle of good and evil in our world. Who is controlled and who's compromised, and who is awake and free of the manipulations? Mars is wanting to attack the way a scorpion stings, with great force for those working in the forms of good and evil. Mars is the god of war, and he's putting into action his desire to fight for his beliefs, whether he is under the spell of darkness or part of the light, fighting to free others from the darkness now. Mars and the moon opposing one another are also both squaring Saturn. Saturn is the government, rules, laws, boundaries, anxiety, fear, depression, and death. And he's in conflict with Mars and the moon. Saturn is in 8 degrees fixed air Aquarius in the keyword of originality. Saturn is using his creativity to impose restrictions and rules on society by using fear as a control mechanism. Mars and the moon are not happy with Saturn's tactics, so they are fighting to break the spell and heal others from the damage caused by Saturn's lack of love and compassion for humanity. Today you may find yourself in an argument with a friend, relative, co-worker, trying to break the spell of darkness that has taken over their ability to think for themselves. Or you may be working on fighting the darkness in legal ways that block and hopefully stop the Saturnian rules and laws holding us back from our freedoms. Hello and welcome to your Thursday astrological forecast for November 18th, 2021. Let's get right into it. Yesterday we had the moon opposing Mars. However, late yesterday and through today, the Mars joins Uranus in fixed Earth Taurus in the keyword struggle. Today, our feeling may be tied to wanting to rebel from a situation we are in, or from a situation imposed upon us by the government using laws in mischievous ways. Saturn in fixed air Aquarius squares the Uranus-Moon conjunction, which opposes Mars in Scorpio. Saturn also squares Mars, so we have a lot of tension today in the form of people trying to fight against restrictions. Saturn is our heaviest karma. He is the hardest part of our chart to overcome. We are seeing this on a global scale with people trying with all their might to overcome the Saturnian ways that restrict, repress, and depress us. Saturn's rules are forcing people out of work, or they're being fired for not complying. We are seeing a very scary time in history. Like I said yesterday, a battle over light and dark, good versus evil. It's about capturing people's consciousness in a way that may lead people down a false path to their own demise. This month is about waking up and fighting back against all of this. You'll find a person under the spell is a person acting out in a Saturnian way. They'll be fearful and a strict rule follower because of the fear. They'll tell on their family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers if they see you doing something that goes against the rules, laws, boundaries that are being set by the elite at the top of the political, corporate, and banking industries. Uranus is working to break free, for he is all about freedom, liberation, and independence. But he's being stifled in the keyword struggle and having to come up with creative ways to go about rebelling against that which is holding him back. And remember, last time Uranus was in Taurus, we had the Great Depression. Venus in 11 degrees cardinal Earth, Capricorn in the keyword of martyrdom, forms a harmonious aspect to the Uranus-Moon conjunction in Taurus. Venus is about relationships to anything, for she is love, attraction, but also repulsion. She can feel that which is not love. In martyrdom, she is able to make the most out of any situation she finds herself in. She may endure many setbacks, but still finds a way to carry on. Venus, being love in the decanate of martyrdom, is special because this placement in the zodiac is about people giving up their jobs or dreams in a self-sacrificing way for a greater interest in universal progression. Now Venus forms a trine, the best aspect possible to the Uranus-Moon conjunction. So Venus is sharing her desire to put herself on the line with Uranus's plans to rebel against those following Saturn's regulations that take away our freedoms to be who we want to be, do what we want to do, and have the things we want to have. For the freedoms are our God-given right. I talked last week or so about a line in the sand. Now I'm talking about freeing those who have a spell on them. The spell wants them to go along with submitting to the Saturnian ways that inhibits our freedoms and eventually will take them all away. The spell is propaganda that is controlling many unless the spell is broken. Many will continue to comply for the rest of their lives. It is important that the spell becomes broken and people speak up. That is the way the spell is broken. That is shining your light into the darkness. Happy Friday, everyone. Today is your astrological forecast for November 19th. Yesterday I talked about big things being at stake. This is Pluto's way of destroying that which no longer serves us. He is about transformation. In order to transform something, it needs to be destroyed and rebuilt. Pluto is in the third or spiritual decanate of Capricorn in the keyword of idealism. Idealism is about grasping the ideal and expressing it on the earth plane into concrete form through intensive labor. The plans must be of our own, but the key is that the plans come from being able to contact the interior planes and drawing the wisdom and information given to us from those who have crossed over and pouring down their love wisdom upon us. Pluto has the ability to cross the threshold of the earth and contact these interior planes. He's hidden below the surface, but when activated, he reaches places in the spirit world unbeknownst to most people. In the world, we must ask, who is contacting these interior planes for guidance? The people wanting to make our world a better place, or those wishing to control and enslave us? Now, Pluto is in harmony, in a harmonious aspect to the conjunction of the Moon and the North Node in Gemini. The North Node is where we want to be headed in the keyword of intuition. Intuition is about contacting the interior planes and following its guidance, even if the guidance goes against what everyone is telling you. There's something in you telling you what to do or which way to go. Today, with the receptivity of the moon, our soul, telling us to trust and follow our intuition as to the direction of our future. The trine to Pluto is showing us there is guidance from the spiritual world as to the outcome. We are being told to listen to our instincts, our intuition, and those speaking to us from beyond the earth plane. What are they communicating to you? We also have to keep in mind Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. Our world, our lives, our government, our psyches are all experience a death in some regard, to be reborn into something else. Pluto is evolution and will not allow the way things were to stay. He's moving the collective in a direction which is not really defined yet. We're having to fight for the direction we see, that our ancestors are guiding us towards, that resonate with us. If you are seeing a future that is not what you want for yourself, your children, and grandchildren, then this is the time in history where you need to take action to change and form the world and how you want it to look. This is what Venus in Capricorn is telling us with her trine to Uranus. Each individual has a particular role to play in the process of change we are going through. Martyrdom is Venus's keyword and is expressing through her love wisdom her desire to give up what she wants in the interest of a larger cause. If the past hasn't shown you drastic changes needed and will come, you will see it, for it will grow until it is right up in your face and you can no longer avoid it. Listen to those screaming from the rooftops, forewarning of what governments and corporations have in store for us if we do not heed their warning cries. Happy Saturday, everyone. This is your astrological forecast for November 20th. The moon in mutable air Gemini begins the day in intuition, and by noon enters the keyword fidelity, which means loyalty. She forms a harmonious aspect to Saturn in fixed air Aquarius in originality, which to me points that the moon's loyalty today will be supporting Saturn's rules, laws, and restrictions. If you're at a rally or protest today, be careful of your surroundings. Use your intuitions and feelings to guide you to safe areas. If you get a bad feeling, move or leave. Do what you feel is necessary. Saturn is the government and will be out trying to arrest those who oppose his rules and restrictions. Don't allow yourself to be made an example of. This fight is won on the interior planes. Know when to walk away and learn how to beat people at their own game. Think of the game of chess. You take pieces one by one off the board. You trap pieces so they can't move. Then you make your move and it's game over. Checkmate. Today the sun in fixed air Scorpio with the keyword attainment is about physical and mental achievement. He's conjunct the south node where we don't want to be headed and opposed the north node where we do want to be headed, and forming a square to Jupiter in fixed air Aquarius in repression. The attainment the sun is striving for this week has been working out how to heal the repression. The sun is in a very receptive position in Scorpio with the subrulership of Cancer moon. So he's able to feel and express his desires, but they are being met with challenges. The sun wants to be social and spread its light and vitality on everyone and everything. He wants to attain spiritual heights. But he's being met by conflict from Jupiter in repression and the North Node in Gemini in intuition. Why is this? Well, the sun can't allow itself to get caught up in detracting itself from its usefulness. It can't allow itself to go in the wrong direction. This is not a time to get distracted by things that don't matter. Yes, it's okay for a while, but the sun is showing us there is more important things at stake here than partying all the time or watching TV on the couch. He's telling us to reach attainment, one must be diligent in what they are doing to reach the top, or the prize of attaining the highest level. What is being shown here is that to attain the highest level, we must follow Gemini's mind, and that sees the whole picture, and trust that our intuitive abilities gets us there. Hi everyone, welcome to your astrological forecast for Sunday, November 21st. Much of the same is happening today, however, the moon moves into the third or spiritual decanate of mutable air, Gemini, in the keyword of reason. The sub-rulership of the moon's position is Aquarius, Uranus, so the feeling-based moon is in the thinking sign of Gemini in the area of enlightened thinking. And she's in harmony with Jupiter in fixed air Aquarius in repression. She's reflecting a way for Jupiter to use his power and influence to get unrepressed. Jupiter is the guru, the sage, and the wise one, and is linked to justice. The moon's position is about accomplishing great things with the use of the mind while staying with reason. This isn't about things that go beyond the reasoning mind. Remember, Gemini is about seeing the entire picture, and the moon is about to finish her transit through Gemini. She's seen the entire picture and plan, and is now communicating with Jupiter in hopes to shed light on his situation, which is getting unrepressed. The moon also forms a discordant aspect with Neptune in mutable water Pisces in the keyword vicissitudes, which is about recapitulating our lives in different and exciting ways. It's also about research into ways that will prepare people for existence after death. The moon and Neptune are squaring off today as they don't see things clearly. Neptune is confusion, illusion, and disillusionment. So the moon and air may be struggling with what Neptune is communicating in its home water sign of Pisces. Neptune is not a personal planet and not necessarily concerned with our feelings in a personal way. Neptune is concerned with the collective in a way that is for the betterment of all of us. Neptune represents divine love and unity consciousness, and so works with mysterious ways that most of us will never be able to grasp or understand. The moon also forms in conjunctions or crisis situations to Pluto in cardinal Earth Capricorn in the keyword of idealism, and to Mercury and the Sun in Scorpio in the keyword of attainment. So Pluto, Mercury, and the Sun aren't liking what the moon is reflecting. The moon not only is our soul, but our survival instincts. She's been enlightened to the situation that obviously other planets aren't happy about. This transit is short-lived, so I'm not investing too much energy worrying about it. But the situation today may cause panic to those fighting to enslave us. Or it could be that people who aren't awake to the plans finally see what is happening and are awoken to the truth. This could come from a protest or a rally that really wakes up a lot of people today. We could also see a news story come out that goes against the narrative being portrayed, or against a particular person that people used to love or believe in. We'll see what the day brings when it arrives. But until then, everyone, stay positive. Enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye, everyone.